Tetris is one of those games that no matter who you are, you've likely played it at one point. Originally premiering in 1988, Tetris has had many remakes, versions, and updates throughout the years. And if you haven't seen it, I actually highly recommend the Tetris movie that came out last year. But today we're going to talk about Tetris Effect. Tetris Effect came out in 2018, and despite Tetris' iconic theme that was based on a Russian folk song, this game has a completely original synth-pop and electronica score filled with a huge variety of different genres and art styles. But what makes this soundtrack really interesting isn't just the music, but the music system. If you're not familiar with the term, in video games, music is often interactive. And the way we design and compose music to be interactive is very different than a film score or a song, which we would call linear music. And a music system is the way the music is designed to be interactive and work on a deeper level beyond just being a loop that repeats. In Tetris Effect, the music system allows us to actually perform the music, and our choices as players affect how the music develops over time. Let's take a look. The very first thing you might notice when we load a level is there is a background ambient layer, and each time we move or rotate a piece, we have a small little stinger that plays that is synchronized with each music. Only it's not completely in sync. This is actually by design, and we'll come back to that later. As we claim more and more lines, the music starts to develop. Layers are gradually added in over time, with key moments happening each time you get to another third of the level. In this case, that's going to be lines 10 and 20. Listen here as the drums and vocals come in as I hit a Tetris to get to line 12. We actually have another interesting effect here as I enter the zone. So the music gets heavily filtered because the time is slowing down and it's giving us more space to think. Now the keen eared among you might also notice the little stingers our piece changes from vocal samples to cymbal hits as the song develops. This is where we can really see what I was talking about before. No matter how fast we play, the sound effects are quantized to eighth notes, and it really makes the music feel like it's locked in and give a much bigger immersion to this game. Let's look at the third level. Even though the music itself is different, the system is the same. We start with an ambient layer, and each movement corresponding to a percussive hit. When we clear a line, we get a little stinger. At line 10, we get vocals and a more developed track. Our movements are still in time with the rest of the performance, and at line 20, the track develops and builds one last time as we push the line 30 goal. These developments can be new layers, or the music can branch into an entirely new section, but what's important is every third of the level, the music has a new sound to it. What's also interesting is how, besides the music getting more exciting as we get closer to the finish, is the more elements that are playing at the same time actually makes the level feel more intense and ups the difficulty. Not as much in this game as in games like Hades 2, where the music can go 7/4 and we get all these progressive and interesting time signatures, but the music does make the game more challenging, which is why the zone mechanic is so interesting, as the music gets filtered out and you have less stimulus to worry about. And with that, conjoined with the time slowing down, the game feels easier when you're in the zone. Anyway, let's compare a few levels to see how one music system is applied throughout the game. Now in this final level, we have a goal of 90. So now our sections happen at 30 and 60. So even though the level is longer, the system is still the exact same.
What could you be afraid of if I'm right here?
Anyway, this is Tetris Effect, and it's such a great game with an awesome interactive system. If you're interested in more in-depth looks at film or video game music, drop a comment below what you want me to check out, and I'll get to it as soon as I can.